far from where the Steelers' former homes at Three Rivers Stadium, Forbes Field once stood. We are at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
There's Nick Folk ready to put this one in the air. And we are underway from Pittsburgh. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former Buckeye, the young rookie QB from Ohio State.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 29, here's a 2nd and 4. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. 2nd and 4. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
That one came up just a little bit short. I'm wondering, is he still a little bit tight as this game starts? What would you say? Maybe he's got to take the governor off of it?
Or maybe the donut off the baseball bat like the guys in the on-deck circle?
I like that. Yeah, just take that little extra weight off of him and start to play freely.
From the gun on 3rd down. Howard. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, Corliss Waitman on to punt. This is taken at the 23. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And it will be Falcon football. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
This guy's leadership is so important to how this offense functions. He doesn't shrink from any moments on game day, and everything he does with confidence. He sets the example in practice, off the field, and is the guy leading everyone out for each possession.
Now he's going to step up and run. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Throw left side. There's London. So nothing doing there, and that'll make it second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now a 2nd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Right at midfield. It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From midfield, here's Tua. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact, but that time they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
On the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now 2nd and 9. Warren will try the right side. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
And that's exactly what you're looking for, the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Got his man, it's Warren. And they stop him short of the 1st as he can only get to the 20. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Waitman now to punt as he sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. For the first time with Bijan Robinson. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40-yard line.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Oh, nice move at midfield. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And the pressure gets to him again. Cameron Hayward. That's now back-to-back sacks, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, how about this? A fistful of sacks already. We're not even out of the first quarter yet. What an incredible start for this defense. If they keep this pace up, they could be looking at an all-time performance.
On is Jake Bailey to send this one away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Here's Austin. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They go play action here on 1st down. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
2nd down and inches. Complete to Austin here over the middle. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
And the Steelers, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. A gain of 3, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Here's a 2nd and 7. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. So 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Looking to throw. Howard. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the flag thrown for the contact, mark off the yardage.
And sometimes you just read a hitch route way too fast. You get there before you're supposed to, and there's the penalty.
In motion, the tight end. Warren. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Howard. Touchdown! Michael Pittman, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, yeah, give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers.
Makes the score.
So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was capped off on the touchdown catch by Michael Pittman. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. A nice little juke. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Play action. Now it's Tua. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Falcon football, as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. 14 yards that time and a first down on the keeper.
It's a gain of 14 yards.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Robinson on a give right side. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. They'll run again here with Robinson. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
First down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line.
It's a gain of 14
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Falcons, first down. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Here's Tua. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Short throw caught by Pitts. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
That was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. In motion goes the tight end. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Complete to Zacchaeus. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
And the slot man goes in motion left. And they'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. On the counter, this is Robinson. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. T.J. Watt. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And the now 40-year-old veteran able to put this one through.
Makes the score.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. He had the short touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll begin again here on 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Howard now. Off play action. And his throw is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Howard. Throw left side complete. That's Warren. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Howard from the gun on 3rd down. And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at about the 14. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Looking to put a drive together. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Cole Holcomb proving too much there for the offensive line. He gets the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Tua going to throw. His throw incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Falcons on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. On the draw, Robinson. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Here's Jake Bailey now. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Looking to put a drive together. Now Howard throwing to start the drive. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he will find his man on the outside. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else. And now it's 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Howard. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
On 4th down, the Steelers call on Corliss Waitman to punt. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it will be Falcon football. Atlanta now coming out on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 60 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
That's caught left side to tight end Pitts.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
48-yard line.
2nd down and 3. Robinson up the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
4 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Nice effort defensively there from Cole Holcomb.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef, that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Tua. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Steelers offense and their running back Jaylen Warren headed back onto the field. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. We'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Howard. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Warren.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
After review of the play,
here's the call.
The ruling on the field is reversed.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Catch is made by Metcalf. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 18 yards there, down to the 18 and a 1st down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw again. That completes it again to Metcalf. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. DK Metcalf, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. extra point now by Boswell. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Bijan Robinson leading the offense out for another drive. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. Complete, it's Dotson. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Now Tua. Short throw caught by Pitts. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Tua sets up to pass it. Zacchaeus here hauling it in. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Room to maneuver at the 35. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Folks, kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. Halftime coming up. Let's get you down to Orlando and our buddy Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thank you. And this one's still anybody's game. We'll see who can come out with a hot hand in this second half as we are about to get underway. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Looking to put a drive together. He'll get it to Robinson to begin the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 77 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Asante Samuel able to make the play defensively.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They run the draw here with Robinson. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this third and long. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the points.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Donald Parham, 72 yards. And the Steelers go up by 2 touchdowns.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of his NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Boswell for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6.
Makes the score Steelers.
A drive there of just 4
Falcons
plays.
6.
And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Second and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. Over the middle, caught by London. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards there on the play as they try to chip away at this 15-point deficit.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
That's another Falcons first down. A gain of 19 yards. First down, Atlanta.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 94 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. T.J. Watt. My goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
First and goal, Atlanta.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. That's caught at the 3. Touchdown, Falcons. Kyle Pitts taking it in. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Folk connects on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 21-17.
Falcons 13.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The
Steelers offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Quarterback and put him on the ground.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Back to throw. Howard. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
To throw is Howard from the gun on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Waitman now to punt as he sends this one away. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Falcons offense and running back Bijan Robinson set to take over once more. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. Their last time out, looking to repeat that. Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Now he'll tuck this and run. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
Got the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. Oh, able to avoid him. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Steelers offense and DK Metcalf getting ready to go back to work. And he was pretty much unguardable in that first half. You see the numbers there as they try to add to him here in this third quarter. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Here's 2nd and 8. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good for a Steelers 1st down. 1st and 10.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
At their 48-yard line.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. In motion right, that's Metcalf. Howard off the play fake. Over the middle, it's complete. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 42. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. On the give, it's Warren. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
At the 41-yard line.
A handoff for Warren. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a 1st down at the Falcons' 32. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches. They'll go with the keeper. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Warren. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. The slot man in motion right. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
On the run, it's Warren. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
He'll try and do this himself, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game. Boswell's kick is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Kicker, defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Steelers have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here this 4th quarter.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with it. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead is up to 15 now.
Makes the score.
That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Atlanta regains possession of the football. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Looking to put a drive together. He'll come out throwing here on first down. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
The Falcons on third down. They're hitting it just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be third and forever. On the give, here's Robinson. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
Well, that sure started out as a good example of what they call backed up or coming out on offense, meaning you're backed up close to your own goal line. Big-time emphasis on practicing that to try and create some room at no less to give the punter a chance to kick the ball away. It means take care of the ball, try and create some space. They were doing that, and the ball comes free.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they sit in a good spot, having the ball back after the fumble recovery and up 2 scores in the fourth quarter. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
The previous play is under review.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. So possession goes over here on the punt. Yeah, the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Howard now, throwing to start the drive. Throwing middle, and it's complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that will bring up second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's Howard, off play action. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. From the gun on third down, Howard. A short one there to Fryermuth. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
Brandon, a good idea there on third down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Looking to put a drive together. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
And the Falcons, first down. First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Back to throw now on first down. Right back to Pitts again. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Here's Tua. Looking for London on the out route complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Alex Highsmith simply would not be stopped on that play.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Derek Harmon breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a 1st down.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the 1st down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Tua going to throw. Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. Touchdown, Falcons. Jahan Dotson, 47 yards. And the Falcons are able to cut into that deficit. So this now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
Extra point up and good by Folk, as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
20.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. 1st down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. He'll start with a handoff to Johnson. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5. In motion right, that's Metcalf. Now Howard off the play fake. And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
To throw is Howard from the gun on 3rd down. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
This is brought in at the 21. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Falcons offense and Tua Tagovailoa headed back out onto the field. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. This is 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Caught by London. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
14 yards. And the Falcons, 1st down. A gain of 14. 1st down, Falcons.
First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown or the two-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice game, get some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
Here's Tua. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Now Tua. That's caught by Pitts. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
It's a gain of 16 yards. And the Falcons, 1st down. A gain of 16 yards.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. Throwing Tua. Throw left side, there's London. And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Tua stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
At the 24-yard line.
Here comes 2nd down at 5. Tua to throw. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
1st down. A gain of 14. 1st down, Falcons.
Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10. Now Tua. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Tua. He's got his man, London, right side. An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
The noise is getting deafening. Here's 3rd down and 3. Here's Tua. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
We've got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down. And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down.
16-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Well, you really can't ask for much more than what we just had here. Not only a close game that went down to the wire, Charles, but a clean one, too. No turnovers in this contest.
And I think you're exactly right about that. To me, this is just a pair of offenses trying to find the slightest bit of separation from each other. And they were both hoping that the other side would make the big mistake first. But today, neither side made that mistake. And what we got, a very entertaining game throughout.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers earn the win at home as we say so long from Pittsburgh.